Jury Notes President, good afternoon. I know there's been some talk about the length of the trial. Let me tell you what I know, and I'm kind of in the same area you are. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to be teaching in San Francisco. If it was a vacation, I would cancel it for you. That sounds like I'm looking for pity. No. I have too many, this is for advanced judges, and it's just too many people depending on me. The case is winding down. It's winding down. If there's issues coming up, like that first week of April, we'll deal with it. I'm not going to hang you out to dry. You've invested a lot. I would invite you to my class, but you're not allowed. Yeah, I know. Believe me, I'd rather be somewhere else myself. In any event, we'll deal with it, but we'll talk about it more as the week goes on. Mr. Baker, you're still under oath, and you may continue.
Thank you. Just before lunch, we began talking about the day of the murder after the attempted hit on Fabio at the strip mall. On that Monday morning, you testified that you played racquetball with the defendant, right? With Monica at the LA Fitness?
Yes.
And how long did the two of you play for?
Under 90 minutes, probably under 90 minutes.
Under 90 minutes?
Yeah, probably an hour, maybe an hour.
And where did the two of you meet that day?
At LA Fitness.
And you said you got there around 11-ish, right?
Just an estimate if my memory serves me, which is not good. But yeah, I think it was 11-ish.
Okay. And I think you told us that she hit you with the racket, you were hurt bad, you bled a lot, you tried to lick the wound and put on a Band-Aid.
I don't think I tried to. Did I say lick?
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't think I licked it. I might have stuck it in my mouth, I don't know.
Okay.
I was just trying to stop the bleeding.
So it was bleeding badly?
It's bleeding a little bit, yeah. It's bleeding.
A little bit?
It's bleeding like more than usual. When I mean a little bit, I mean more than usual.
More than usual. Okay. And once you put the Band-Aid on, did that take care of it?
It took a while. It took a while to stop the bleeding. I had to put direct pressure on it.
Okay, so when you say it took a while, what does that mean?
It wasn't instant. It wasn't instant. It took a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes to finally get it to really stop.
That was after the hour that you played racquetball?
I still think, yeah, I can't remember, but I think we still played a little bit longer after I finally. No, we didn't. No, we did not. No, she had to leave.
She had to leave.
Yeah.
And you stayed.
Not long. I didn't stay that long. I stayed maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
And then you left.
Then I left.
Okay. And any further issues with the Band-Aid?
No, I had to keep changing it.
You had to keep changing because it was dripping blood.
Yeah. Well, eventually I put a little super glue on it to stop it.
Super glue.
Eventually, when I got to the house.
And when did you put super glue?
At my apartment.
And when was that?
The same day.
Was that after you left the gym?
Yes, at my apartment, yes.
So in this case, do you recall that day that the defendant came to the gym that morning with her daughter, Jessica?
I do.
Okay. And Jessica told law enforcement in her first interview, as well as in her testimony here in this court, that she worked out with her mom that day. They lifted weights and they went on the treadmill, and her mom didn't play racquetball.
Okay.
Does that refresh your recollection that this injury didn't occur that day?
We played.
You played?
Yeah.
That you're clear on. You can remember that. That was the same.
I remember we played. I remember I got hit.
And did you and Monica discuss on one of the lockup overhears the fact that Jessica said You guys didn't play racquetball that day, and then you guys talked about what other day it could have been.
I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Okay. And then you said that Monica left, and then you left shortly after her from the gym.
Yes.
Did you do anything with your injury, like report it to the front desk or anybody that you were bleeding all over?
No.
Get any medical attention?
No.
Would it surprise you to know that you actually walked out of the LA Fitness just in front of Monica and Jessica that day?
They were there. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know if they. I didn't pay attention if they left the LA Fitness or not. But I left. She said she had to go. She left. I didn't see her again, and then I walked out. I walked out. I don't know where they went.
And we also watched the video of you walking out of the LA Fitness that morning.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Did you?
I think it's a prelude to a question.
Thank you. If I were to tell you that there's no evidence on the video of you walking out, nursing an injury, bleeding, dripping blood, or anything of that nature, again, would that refresh your recollection as to what date this allegedly occurred?
It happened that Monday.
I'm sorry?
It happened that Monday.
Okay. So that one detail you are certain of.
Objection, that's argument.
It's overruled.
Yes.
And then you told us on direct exam that Monica told you about her day and that she was going to be picking up her daughter at school. Right?
She did say that.
And based on that, you told us that you put together that there would be a short window, an opportunity for you to kill Fabio.
In my head, yes.
I'm sorry?
In my head, yes.
Okay. And you said that Monica told you Fabio hadn't left the house in days. Do you remember testifying to that last week?
No, I said that.
You said that.
I said that.
Okay. And when you told the jury that Fabio hadn't left the house in days, what was that based on?
Based on the information through general conversation of her telling me her day that he was there.
Okay. My question was that he hadn't left the house in days. Where did you get that from?
That was
that
my
your GPS? What was
no, that was
on?
just me listening to the conversation.
So if I were to tell you that Fabio was out the day before, which was a Sunday, with his friend Ernie, would that do anything in terms of change your answer that you gave last week to the jury?
Well, I don't know exactly every second where he was. I mean, I know he was generally at home.
You said he
didn't.
had left the house in days.
All right. My terminology means left the house in days, meaning like going somewhere, like to work, and being gone for an amount of time where I can see her. So that wasn't happening. That's what I mean, couldn't leave the house in days.
Okay.
And I'm sure he did leave the house somewhere for someplace. No doubt about that.
But she told you that he was going to be home on the day that you went up there to commit the murder.
That he was going to be home?
Yes.
Well, I kind of took it that he was going to be home.
Well, you didn't just take it that way. I mean, you relied on that information, right?
Well,
You went through this whole
eventually I had to rely
elaborate
on it.
scheme to go up there to kill him.
Eventually I had to rely on the information, yes.
Okay. Did you know that he was also gone during portion of that day, that we saw him on videotape, leaving, coming home?
No. It was a lot going on that day.
A lot going on. Where else did you go after LA Fitness?
I went back to the apartment.
And what did you do when you got back to the apartment?
Try to figure out how to do this thing.
What do you mean try to figure out how to do this
How
thing?
to do the murder.
What do you mean how to do the murder?
What do I mean? How to do the murder? How to do the murder? How to do the murder? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Well, explain to the jury what you mean.
You
when
mean to go through the whole plan again?
I'd like to know what you said you went back to the apartment to do.
I said, I went back and I told Chris, I said, I think I might have a good, something like this. I don't want to be verbatim. I'm paraphrasing. I just told him I think there was an opportunity. I don't remember exact verbiage.
Okay. And so what did you do then?
Try to get everything together that I needed. The
What
clothes.
was that?
The clothes.
Okay. What clothes?
The clothes that I was wearing that day.
Okay. What else?
Then I had to sit down and think about how I'm going to actually do this, which meant how to actually put it into motion.
Okay. So what did that entail?
Getting up there,
No, when you said you had to sit down and think about it.
yeah, it means I had to sit down and figure out how I'm going to do this.
Okay. So what'd you do? You wrote it out on a piece of paper?
No, I just thought about it. Just
Thought about it. Okay. And then what'd you do?
Start trying to work to implement it
And how did you do that?
by going to the place or the location where the car was, where I plan on putting the car, park it, and find a way where there's no or the least amount of cameras, the least possible amount of cameras.
So you went somewhere before you went to the house?
No, I went. Everything was done on the fly.
On the fly.
Yeah.
So you went back to the apartment. Were you again still in touch with Monica throughout the day?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I'm not sure.
So how would you know that Fabio wouldn't get up and leave and go to the office for a meeting?
I wouldn't know.
How would you know that he wouldn't go out to pick up lunch or
He might
something
have.
else?
That was a chance I was taking.
Okay. So you had Christopher Austin fly all the way in. You went through all of this thinking, planning. The attempted hit the night before didn't work. So what steps did you undertake to ensure that you weren't going up there needlessly?
There were no steps. I just tried to get it done. There was no specific steps to try to make sure. It just had to see if it could get done. If he happened to leave, then it would be over. Right? Then it would be over immediately.
Okay. And how would you know if he had left the house?
Maybe I saw him.
You saw him.
I said maybe if I would have seen him. So that's one way of knowing.
How would you see him?
If I saw him coming out the house.
You mean while you were actually there on the street?
Or if he was coming down the street.
Okay.
That's one way. GPS movement. But I really didn't have too much time to look at that. It wasn't enough time.
The GPS. You didn't have time to look at the GPS.
I really didn't have a lot of time. I really didn't have a lot of time for that.
Because it's a very short window.
No, I just didn't have the time for it. I knew that the way I understood it was she said that she had to pick up her kids around 5, and she would be back and let me know when she was back and whatever. So I figured I had a small window to get that done and be able to receive her call or her text and let me know that because she always lets me know how her day was. So I didn't want to break that.
So you don't remember being in touch with her throughout, again,
I really
that entire day?
I'm sure I did. I just don't remember what times and all that. I just don't remember all that.
So from your apartment, where did you go?
Eventually, I went to the location. Well, no. I wind up having to pick up some items. I think I went to the bank.
Went to the
pick up
bank.
money.
Okay.
So, and then I went to one store to pick up an item and another store to pick up some other items.
Did Chris Austin come with you to the bank and the store?
No, the bank was a drive-through.
Was he with you?
No,
Okay. Which car were you in?
I think I was in my truck.
The truck that you said you wasn't working, so you needed a rental car, right?
It wasn't working earlier that week, no, but it was working. I needed
It was working.
a battery. Huh?
It was working that day.
Yeah. No, I eventually got it to work. I put a new battery in it.
Okay. And so, what store did you go to?
I went to a liquor store, not to buy liquor.
You told us you were in a rush, you didn't have a lot of time to look at the GPS, but you had time to go to the liquor store?
Not to buy liquor. I wanted to buy something. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't liquor, though.
Okay. So you went to the bank, you went to the liquor store. Where else did you go?
I went to Target.
You went to Target.
Yeah.
What time did you go to Target?
I don't remember the time.
Okay. And what did you buy at the Target that day when you were in a rush to get over to the house to commit this murder in that short window?
I believe it was some kind of clothing.
You bought clothes.
No, some kind of clothing, yeah. I believe that's what it was.
Okay. And while you were there in the Target parking lot, did you meet up with Monica?
No, not that I remember.
Could you have?
I don't remember because I met her a lot of places all the time. So I don't remember if I met her that day or not because I meet her all kinds of places, and Target was one of them. There's a lot of places. We met a lot of places, so I don't remember.
So if Monica was messaging you right up into the time that she comes to the Target store, and then the messaging stops for a period of time when you're both in the lot, would that refresh your recollection that the two of you got together at the Target lot to speak?
Maybe might have been in the same parking lot. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. I told you I don't remember.
Okay. So you said you were driving your truck when you went to the Target, right?
No.
Oh,
I
you
wasn't.
went back and changed
I
cars?
said, yes, I went to the bank with the truck. That's what I told you.
Okay. And then you said you went to the liquor store. Which car were you in for that?
I walked.
You walked to the liquor store.
Sure did.
Okay. And then you went back to the apartment? Or
Yes.
did you walk to Target?
Yes. No. I went back to the apartment.
And then what vehicle did you take to go to the Target?
The silver car.
The rental car.
It was silver, I believe it was.
The one that was rented, correct?
The silver car.
Again.
Yes,
Your
the
Honor,
silver car.
ask that the witness be directed to answer the question.
You go ahead and ask your question.
The silver car that was rented.
There you go. And when was that car rented for you?
I don't know what day it was.
Well, you told us
That's not an evidence.
It's overruled.
you told us last week that you got somebody, Paula, to rent the car for you. Remember
Right.
testifying to that last week?
I do.
Okay. And you said that that was on Friday, right?
I think it was on Friday.
And then you told us that over the weekend you drove all three cars, your Mustang, your Ford Expedition, and the rental cars. Remember that?
Yes.
And that was because you said you needed to take your car in for a new battery.
No, I needed to work on my cars, period. And a battery was one of the things I had to do.
I see. And so you had her rent you a car that you drove over the course of the weekend.
Yes, I used it for the weekend.
If I were to tell you that the vehicle was rented for you that day, and that you met Paula at the Enterprise, and that cell phone evidence shows you were there renting the car that morning again, does that change another set of answers you gave to this jury last week?
I told you I don't remember a lot of stuff, so it may have. My memory is bad. I've been telling you this from the beginning.
But there's certain things that you have a very clear recollection of,
Certain things.
right?
Certain things.
Like the fact that you played racquetball that morning.
I would bet on that.
Okay. So, when did you go to Target?
Well, I don't know. That day, sometime during that day. I don't want to give you the wrong time again and say I'm lying again. So I don't know. It was that afternoon.
That afternoon.
I think it was that afternoon.
And when you went to Target, where did you park the silver rental car?
I'm not sure.
You don't remember?
I'm not sure. I know I was there. I just don't remember where I parked exactly. It was 8 years ago. I don't remember.
Your Honor, I have a set of still photos. Six in total from January 23rd of 2017. There are numbers in the bottom left corner.
Are these surveillance photos?
Yes, there's still photos from the surveillance video.
We marked as 277.
Thank you. Do you recognize the vehicle that you see here, circled in green?
I see the lit up car.
Do you recognize the car?
Not really. I don't remember. I don't recognize it, but I'm sure that's supposed to be the car I was in. I'm sure.
Supposed to be.
I'm sure.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I don't know if it is or not.
Let's play the video. Of the video that is on the DVD that's been marked as People's 42. You recognize this location here? Is that the Target parking lot?
I think so. I still can't get oriented yet. It's been a while.
Remember driving past all the different lanes to go to the very farthest lane closest to the 101 freeway?
No, I don't
in
remember.
the rental vehicle?
I don't remember it. I don't.
Okay.
I don't remember that, but I'm sure it happened.
Remember backing the vehicle into the spot? Yes? No?
I don't remember, but it looks like I did it. So I don't remember that, but it looks like I did it.
Recognize yourself from the way you walk and what you're wearing?
I remember what I wore. Yeah, it was dark.
That's you, right?
I think so. It looks like it.
You see doesn't appear to be any injury you're nursing on your hand.
Objection, that's argument.
Did you see that? Hello? Did you see that?
Did I see what, the injury? I
And
didn't
is
see
this
no
you
injury. It
here
was too
walking
far.
into the store at 302?
Objection was sustained.
It was, yes, during question.
Is that you walking in? Did you see yourself?
I don't know. I was talking to you. Can you play it back? You want me to see it?
Sure.
I'm sure it is, but
No, if you have any question, let's play it back.
yeah, it looks like me from the back. Yeah, it's me. It's got to be. I know it's me.
Okay. I'm going to show you another clip. This is now at 3:23. You remember moving the car?
I'm sure I did it, but I don't remember.
You remember moving the rental car, the silver rental vehicle that Paula got for you at Enterprise that morning to that little alcove at the back of the parking lot, the furthest away from the Target?
I don't remember doing it, but I'm sure I did it.
Have you done that on numerous occasions such that it would be something common?
No, not really. Not really. I just...
But it doesn't stick out in your mind that that particular day you moved the car to the back of the
No, I
Target lot?
probably did. I just don't remember doing it. I probably did it. I just don't remember doing it. It wasn't a big thing for me to do that day. Just to move the car, and I have to remember that. I just wasn't thinking in the future I need to remember moving this car.
You don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let me play another clip. You see Monica's car in red, the Ford F-150 that you said you had a GPS on,
Yes.
pulling into the lot?
Yes.
See the car stop right there? And someone comes around the front? See that?
I can barely see anything.
And your car is still at the back of the lot. You see the green circle to the right?
Yeah.
So do you remember meeting up with Monica at the parking lot in front of the Payless Shoes?
I really don't remember. I really don't remember. It seemed like any other day when I met her. When I meet her,
It seemed like any other day, except
Yeah.
this was the day you were planning on murdering her
I'm talking
husband.
about this right here. It seems like any other day to me. To me, it just
Okay.
seems like any other day of me meeting her.
You see the
So,
two circles on the screen at 3:30, the red one and the green one? Your rental car is still there in the back of the lot.
I
You
saw
see
it.
that?
I saw it.
So what were the two of you talking about in her car at this point?
I told you I don't even remember seeing her, let alone talking to her.
Well, do you remember in the holding cell just behind this door here having a conversation with Monica about exactly this? The two of you in the Target lot just prior to the murder meeting up. Remember having a conversation with her about it?
I remember always trying to have conversations with her.
Do you remember a conversation with her about the Target parking lot and the video?
I don't remember the subject matter exactly, but I always try to talk to her all the time.
Okay. So this was from August 24th of 2017, where you told her, "We got to get married, babe," and she said, "I love you," and you said, "My lawyer said the same thing. He thinks you're going to make a deal." Actually, that's Monica saying that to you. And you said, "Babe, I'm not making no fucking deal. I'll take it to my fucking grave, baby." You remember that?
I got to hear it. I don't remember saying it, but I'm sure I got to hear it first.
And then she said, "Me too." Remember that?
No, I don't. And like I said, I need to hear it.
And then you said, "I love you. I'll take the blame before anything." Do you remember saying that? In the lockup, right here. Trust me, the answers aren't up there. Then on the next page.
I think.
One moment. That is,
Trying to answer the question.
that is
Yeah, no,
argumentative.
he's not. He's not, Judge.
First of all, it wasn't here. It wasn't Van Nuys.
I'm sorry?
It wasn't Van Nuys.
No, this is here.
I thought it was Van Nuys.
Yeah, you're
Pretty
wrong.
Sure it was. See, again, I can't remember nothing.
Okay. On the next page, the defendant said to you, she's whispering and she says, "Hey, the cameras." And you said, "I know, but I'll take the blame. I'll lie." And then she whispered again and said, "Wait, listen, listen." And once again you said, I'll lie and I'll take it." Do you remember that?
I don't remember the conversation, but I'm sure if you said it's there, it's there.
And then she said to you again, whispering, listen, the cameras, the cameras. And you said, where? And she whispered to you, up at Target. They have a camera at Payless Shoes. They have no video of you. And you said, of us? Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
And then she said, in whispers, none. And you said, yeah, I know. He told me, meaning your lawyer, right? The lawyer that didn't tell you any of it.
I don't, huh? No, exactly. Oh, the overhears? Absolutely. He told me nothing. I knew nothing about it. I knew they were there.
And then she said, in a whisper, the video was only for a month or two. And you said, I know. And nothing on the other one at night two. The other one at night two. That was the one at the strip mall where you tried to kill Fabio the night before when Monica gave you the address, right?
I'm telling you, I don't remember any of this. I don't remember it.
Your answer that you don't remember is different than saying it didn't happen,
Objection,
right?
argument.
Sustained.
And then the conversation went on. And you said, there's nothing. Only thing is a couple drops of my DNA. That you explained that already. That he took it. And she said, yeah. Remember that?
I don't remember the conversation.
And then the defendant said to you in a whisper, I'm so scared. And you said, even if we, and she said in a whisper, if I have to stay in here my whole life, I'll take my own life. And you said, no, baby, don't you? And she said, I will not stay here. And you said, don't you do it ever, baby. Remember that?
I do remember that one.
So now it's coming back a little?
I remember that phrase.
And then she said to you in a whisper, I've never been asked yet about the flip phone. I haven't been asked yet. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that either.
And then she said to you, this is what we talked about this morning before lunch. In a whisper, they want your computer. And you said, mine? And in a whisper, she said, yours. And your response? You told us earlier it was stolen, right, from your truck?
Yeah, it was.
That's what you told us all this morning, I think. Right?
I believe it, yeah, I told you it was stolen.
Gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
She said in a whisper, yeah. Gone? Gone? Are you sure? And you said, well, no, yeah. It's not around. It broke. And she said, oh. And you said, so I got rid of it because it was broke and it was no more good. And she said, oh. Do you remember that? Nothing about it being stolen out of the truck.
Well, she doesn't need to know what happened to it anyway, because I know there's a good possibility you were listening.
Right. And then you said, and I would, and I happened to do it the day before. What were the chances of that shit breaking? Right? So which is it? Did it get stolen?
Oh, it got stolen, along with some gear, with some racquetball gear.
And so after you and Monica met up in the Target parking lot, where did you go next?
Well, where I went, where we met, you say we met. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm just saying where I met. Where I went from there is I went to find a place to park the car.
Which car?
The silver rental.
And where did you go to park the silver rental?
I don't remember the exact address. It was off Ventura Boulevard.
Behind or next to what?
It was in a housing area, so it wasn't behind or next to anything but some houses.
Okay, so it was next to houses.
Yeah, I don't
And then
remember where.
Where did you go from there?
On foot.
Okay?
towards the house.
And again, this is during that same period of time that you told us that there was such a short window where you had to get this murder done, right? But now we've talked about going to the liquor store, going to the bank. Now we can see you're at Target, you have a conversation with Monica. Now you go drop the rental car somewhere and you're on foot. Clock's ticking, so where do you go next?
I don't agree with the talking to Monica part, but I'll go along with the other stuff. Going to some back way towards the house, trying to get to the house.
So you walked to the house from there?
Jogged.
Jogged. Didn't you forget something?
Probably did.
How about your lookout?
Okay. What about it?
Well, you told us that from the Target lot, you went and parked the car somewhere. I'm assuming at some point you went back to the apartment to pick up your lookout?
No, he's in the car.
Oh, he was in the car at Target?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when, in all the interviews that you gave to the defense team, when did you ever say that Chris Austin was actually in the rental car sitting in there?
I never said anything.
Till today?
Till today.
So would this be like story number somewhere around 14?
Objection, Your Honor.
Well, you had 12
That's all right.
interviews.
That's an objection pending. It's argumentative.
So you never told the defense that Chris Austin was
Your
sitting in the
Honor,
car?
you didn't ask every...
Objection to counsel testify.
Yes. You wish to approach? Or make an objection?
I would like to.
All right.
So I'm going to show you People's 160, which is a timeline of communications on Viber between you and Monica on the day of the murder. And I'm going to switch to page 3. We saw on the video you drive into the lot about 3 o'clock. Here at 3:01, you send a message through Viber to Monica, right?
That's what the paper says.
Is that to let her know that you've arrived at the Target lot?
I don't see the text at all. I don't see the message itself, so I don't know. That ain't it, though.
And then right after that, at 3:10, she texts back to you. You then go back and forth for several minutes, texting back and forth, correct?
So that's what the paper says.
And then we see here at 3:21, messages again back and forth, correct?
That's what the paper says.
You don't remember any of this, right?
It's eight, almost 10 years ago. I don't remember any of this.
Okay. And then we see here at 3:37, Monica is sending texts to somebody named Jessica. Who's Jessica?
I'm assuming it's her daughter.
Okay. Telling her, don't be late for babysitting, right? Right?
That's what the paper says.
And then you contact somebody named Intranic Manassian. Who's Intranic?
I don't remember.
Bless you.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay. And then we see her last communication to you is at 16:46. See that?
I do.
Just after a call to an eye doctor and to her daughter Isabella, right? Right?
I'm just going by what you're giving me to read, so I'm just reading it with you. Yeah.
Didn't you tell us today and last week that Monica told you that afternoon she was going to go to pick her daughter up at school?
That's what she told me earlier that day.
Okay. Do you know where you were at 16:46, which would be 4:46 and 11 seconds in the afternoon, California time?
Somewhere in the area there. I don't know exactly where though.
How about inside the Sementilli home?
It has to be. It has to be. But like I said, it's somewhere in that area for sure. I don't know because I don't know exactly what time everything was happening.
Do you know what time you went up to the Sementilli home?
I don't have an exact time, no. I don't have an exact time.
We'll get it for you. When you told the jury last week that you needed a rental car over the weekend while you were fixing yours and that you drove all 3 vehicles that weekend, that would have been false, correct?
That I didn't drive all 3 vehicles?
Yes, because as I told you, you didn't get that rental car until this morning.
I could have sworn I got that car. I got that car on Friday. Like I said, my memory's not good, so I don't know.
The only reason
I was there.
you needed a rental car was because you needed to have a car that was not connected to you, correct? In order to commit this crime. And that's the reason you asked Paula to rent you a vehicle that day.
Well, I was going to rent it myself.
But you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You did it on purpose through Paula so it wouldn't be in your name, to remove yourself, right?
That would helped. That would have helped, yes.
However, you tried to tell the jury that you had the car since Friday, and the only reason you had a rental car from Paula was because you needed it while you were fixing your cars.
And I was trying to fix my cars with
The
it.
problem is, sir, as I've told you, that you didn't get the rental car until that morning,
That's argument.
right?
Sustained.
Your Honor, I have a enterprise rental car contract. May it be marked as People's 278.
Do we not have that in another exhibit, or am I wrong?
I don't know. It might be inside of the PowerPoint. But rather than hunt for it,
So marked.
I'm going to mark it, if that's okay with the court. I'm showing you this. Remember going to enterprise rental car with Paula?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah?
I remember going to Enterprise.
With Paula, right?
I think so.
See here, timeout, 11:01 a.m. Yes?
I do. I see it.
And the rental company, the enterprise company that you went to, that was one that was in Canoe Park, correct?
Yes, it was.
And if we look over here to the left, this is the address where Paula and Sean used to live, right?
I'll
You've
take your
been
word
there,
for it.
huh?
You have all the paperwork. I have nothing. I can't go off memory of any of this, so I don't know. So I'm going to take your word for it.
But you've been to their home.
I don't know the address.
Was it in Chatsworth?
It was in Chatsworth.
And then do you see here it's a silver note?
That's what it says.
Showing you a still from a video at 4:18. Do you recognize this person here in the green Sean John sweatshirt?
That's me.
Yep. See the time?
I see the time on the image.
Do you know where this location here is? Just at the corner?
Yes.
Where is that?
I don't know the streets, but it's down the street from our house.
So that was 4:18. And I showed you that Viber message from Monica at 4:46. Do you know how long you were inside the Sementilli house for?
I wasn't keeping track of the time at that moment.
Okay. Well, see the Porsche there at 4:53?
I do. I see the Porsche.
Yeah. Would that be you driving the Porsche
Yes.
away from the crime?
Yes.
So again, at 4:46, you were inside the Sementilli home, right?
Or on the property or something, somewhere in there.
All right. So your story today is that Christopher Austin was with you at the target, but for some reason he stayed in the vehicle when you went in?
Yes.
And then when you reparked the vehicle to the back of the lot, he once again is still inside the vehicle?
Yes.
Why didn't you ever mention that in any of the prior interviews that you had with the defense team in this case?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled.
I wasn't asked.
And so you felt that only giving up certain information was, as you said, being very truthful and honest with them.
That's argument.
I'm going to allow that.
At that particular point, I'm trying to get information from them.
You knew that they were trying to get information from you, right? That was the whole point of them interviewing you over and over and over again,
Objection,
right?
that's argument.
Overruled.
No.
That's not true. They didn't interview you.
They did
over and
interview
over.
me, yes.
And in which interview did
Don't
you
ask, I don't
ever
know.
tell them the truth?
I told them bits of truth in all of them.
Bits of truth.
Bits of truth, actually a lot of truth on a lot of them. Some things I
A
just
lot of
left
truth.
out. Yeah, some things I left out, and some things I changed to protect people, like Chris. So yes, I lied to protect Chris.
But at some point, they told you that Chris Austin had been arrested. And then you turned around and told them about Chris Austin. So once the cat was out of the bag, so to speak, why didn't you tell them that Chris Austin was just sitting there in the car when you were at Target?
I don't think it has to. I don't know. There wasn't asked, so there was no reason for me to give them the information, and there was no use of it. So what was the purpose of that?
maybe to show that you were telling the truth versus now making up yet another version of a story?
Objection, that's argument.
Sustain.
And then I think you said that you went to the gym that night, right?
I said that.
Isn't that what you told the jury?
Yes, I did.
Who's Bob Bagley?
He's another racquetball league director.
And isn't it true that that night you never went to LA Fitness? And so Bob Bagley ran the racquetball league that night.
Bob Bagley was there, and I asked him to take over for me.
We had testimony in this case from Sheila Salahian, who was there that night, with Ricardo, because Ricardo plays in the leagues on Monday nights. And Sheila told this jury that she didn't see you there that night. She didn't see you, in fact, till the 26th, when you showed up at LA Fitness with a cut on your finger and asked if she and Ricky would go with you to Monica's to pay a call. Does that refresh your recollection?
Bob Bagley was there because I was there, and I'm the one who asked him to take over from me. So maybe you should ask Bob instead of Sheila. I don't know if you did that already, though. But
Objection, non-responsive. Move to strike the entire answer.
Stricken.
Again, does it refresh your recollection?
no, it doesn't.
Which vehicle did you take to LAX to pick up Chris?
I believe it was the black truck.
The Expedition?
Yes.
So the battery was fine when you went to LAX, correct?
Yes.
So it was just glitchy after that.
Yeah, batteries go dead fast.
And what time did Monica tell you she was going to school to pick up Isabella?
I don't remember.
You also, on direct exam, told the jury that when you went to the Sementilli residence, that Austin was in the front passenger seat for a period of time, but then you also, in another question, said he was in the trunk. Which area did Austin ride in on your way to the Sementilli home?
Well, since we jogged to the house, we jogged. So I guess you meant before then. Is that what you're asking?
Objection, move to strike, non-responsive.
Stricken.
Thank you. Again, you told the jury last week that on your way from your apartment,
Okay, gotcha.
once you and Chris put on clothing, that he was in the front passenger seat. And then shortly thereafter, in another question, you said he was in the trunk. Which area of the car was Chris Austin in when you drove from your apartment to the Sementilli residence?
He was in the passenger seat.
So when you said that he was in the trunk, at what point in time was that? Or was that just, again, another statement that wasn't true?
I think he was in the trunk when we left the apartment, or we were in the apartment before we left. And I don't even remember if it was right at that time. I think it was before time, because somebody came from the apartment complex and I didn't want him seen. So I told him, slip in the back seat, get in, and slide in the back so nobody can see you. That's where the trunk thing came in.
And where was that? When
In
you
the-
said
in the-
he was in the trunk in your apartment,
in the garage.
in the garage.
Yeah.
So when the two of you left your apartment, he was in the trunk.
I think so. He eventually got out, but I can't remember. I can't be sure. I can't be sure of that
So
exactly.
which is it? Was he in the trunk? Was he in the front passenger seat? Or is it that now you can't remember?
He was in the car. He was in the passenger seat, and he was in the trunk.
So he was in both.
He was in one or the other, but he wasn't in the trunk the whole time. He was only there for a short period of time.
I see.
Just out of camera range.
I see. Well, people knew he was coming and going from your apartment, so you weren't hiding the fact that he was at your apartment, right?
Actually, seems
So-
not an evidence, that's argument.
So what exactly, when you say out of camera range, which cameras
I don't know
are
if
you
anybody
referring
saw him or
to?
not. I have no clue of that.
Excuse me?
I have no idea if anybody saw him or not. I don't know.
Okay. Again, he had been staying with you, you said, for a couple of days, right?
Yes?
In fact, last week you told us that he was here for several days, right?
He's here a couple of days.
Okay. And so, again, when you said he moved from the trunk to the front passenger seat once you were out of camera range, which cameras are you referring to?
Okay, I thought you were talking about somebody seeing him. I don't know. Just in case any camera saw him. Any camera.
So again, I'll ask it again. At what point in time did Chris Austin move from the trunk to the front passenger seat?
Probably after we left the underground garage.
Probably.
It's 8 years ago. I don't remember.
So when you told the jury last week that he was in the front passenger seat and you also told them he was in the trunk, were both of those statements, again, false?
No, this is different times. They were just different times.
But you don't even know today which times, and it's only been a few days since you said that to these people.
Argumentative.
Sustained.
Do you remember testifying last week that you told Austin to get into the back seat trunk area in order to protect him?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
Did you also testify last week that Austin didn't know where to go, that he had to follow you because he wasn't familiar with the area or the streets?
Yeah, he doesn't know the area.
Last week, you said that it made sense that Austin stabbed Fabio so that you must have given him a knife. When did you give Austin a knife?
I don't remember saying that.
Do you remember saying last week that it made sense when you heard that Austin stabbed Fabio and that therefore you must have given him a knife?
I don't remember him giving him a knife at all. I don't. That part I don't remember. But if somehow it just makes sense. I don't know how. It just somehow makes sense now after the fact.
Okay, what makes sense?
Then maybe he stabbed him. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember that. I really don't remember that part.
Where did you park the rental vehicle
In
on your way to the home?
in some neighborhood.
Which neighborhood?
I don't know the name of it. It's off of Ventura.
You don't know the name of the hood. How many years would you say you lived in the San Fernando Valley, specifically the Woodland Hills, Canoga Park area?
Quite a few years.
So which neighborhood was it?
I don't know the name of it. I just know where the car was.
Okay. Residential neighborhood, industrial neighborhood, commercial neighborhood? Can you give us some description?
His houses. It was residential.
Okay. And you just picked a location at random on the way to the house?
Pretty much.
And at that point in time, was Austin in the front passenger seat or was he in the trunk?
He was in the passenger seat.
Okay. And so Was that because you believed there were no cameras at that location?
Correct.
Okay. And so at that point, when you got out of the car, did you have to put on any clothes?
Yes.
So you were not wearing extra clothes at that time?
No.
So where did you change?
There.
On the street.
In the car.
Okay. And what about Austin?
I don't think he changed. I think he had whatever he had on.
So Austin had a hoodie just like yours, but it was just a coincidence?
What?
You didn't give it to him, right?
No.
So he just happened to have the same kind of hoodie you had?
No, he had a black outfit on, I think.
Same kind of hoodie that covers up over the face,
Oh, yeah,
right?
Yeah, hoodie does that.
But you didn't give it to him?
No.
And from there, where did you go?
We we went towards the house.
Okay. And how far was it from wherever it is that you parked in this unknown neighborhood?
It felt like it felt like about 2 miles, maybe 2 miles. Felt like about 2 miles.
So you ran or walked 2 miles?
Yeah.
And at some point in time, did you say anything to Austin so that the two of you would be on the same page in terms of your entry once you got to the home?
When we left the car, I told him we're going to go up. We're going to go up, and all I want him to do is be on the lookout from the front door. That is it. That is it.
Okay.
So when we got up, going towards the house, I was actually kind of winded. So I reminded him when we got to the house, remember, just stay to the front. Look, anybody comes, let me know. We can leave. We can get out of here.
So you left him at the front door area of the home?
Inside.
Inside?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get in?
To the back.
Through the back?
The back sliding glass was open.
You told us earlier that you had only been to the Sementilli home a couple of times prior to Fabio Sementilli's murder. How did you know where to enter the home if you had only been there a couple of times?
Because I know that going through the front door is covered through a camera. So I'm trying to avoid that camera for now.
And you know that because, again, on June 28th, when your cell phone connected to the Sementilli's home Wi-Fi, that same day, Monica sent you an email with the logon instructions for her home security system, right?
She did. She sent me the logon. Yes.
Okay. And that was so that you could also be aware of people coming and going, the family, from the home, right?
No, it was just for her to say hello to me.
For her to say hello to you.
Yeah, stupid as that sounds, but yes.
If she wanted to say hello to you, all she had to do was pick up the phone, right? Like you guys did 180 times a day.
No, not right. Not right. Not right.
Not right.
Not right.
So, in other words, she knew about your prior history, right?
Yes.
And you said she was fine with that. You talked about that the other day. You remember
Yes.
that?
Yes.
She was okay with the whole sex registrant, underage minor, all of that, right?
Yes.
And yet she sent you the password, her home Wi-Fi, and the login code for the cameras at the Sementilli home where she had 2 teenage daughters coming and going from the home, right?
Yes, she had daughters.
And so that was so that you could see everybody coming and going from the home and keep tabs on them,
No,
right?
just her. Whenever she said I wanted to say hello, I don't look at nobody else, didn't care about anybody else. Wasn't it?
So if you had only been to the Sementilli home on a couple of other occasions, how did you know where to enter the home?
because the front door was covered with a camera. And I knew that, so I knew it was best to try the back. And the back, I tried the door, and it was open, and we went through the back door.
How did you know, if you had only been to the Sementilli home on a couple of prior occasions, that a back door would be open?
Because that's the way I would come to the house, would be through the back door. On
So
the one or two times that I was there.
The other two occasions that you were there...
Or the couple of times. I don't have a count. It was a couple of times. I don't know how many times it was.
You told us one occasion was when you got so drunk out with Monica that you slept over while Fabio was out of town, right?
That's when she brought me over, yes.
And I assume on that occasion you would have come through the front door.
I was drunk. I don't remember.
Okay. So that time you wouldn't have come through this back door, right?
When I was drunk, no. I would come escorted with her.
And you said there was another occasion that you came, and we talked about that in July of 2016 when you returned from the Las Vegas trip after plotting the murder with Chris and going to the Aria to see Monica. You went to the Sementilli home that night with Chris, right?
Yes, I think so. I think so.
And on that day, did you go around to the back of the home to enter?
No, I think it was the front, but I think it was the front. I'm pretty sure it was the
Right.
front.
So on what occasion are you referring to where you came to the Sementilli home and knew the back door would be open?
I don't know the dates. I don't remember the dates.
So how many times had you entered the Sementilli home through the back door?
2, 3, I don't know. No exact number because I don't want to be called a liar again, so I can't give you an exact number. There's no way. I can't give you an exact number.
Give us an estimate.
I don't want to do
you
that.
said that it was...
Calling me lying days is coming to an end, so
Oh, no,
I don't
trust
do
me,
that.
it isn't.
No, it will be.
When you said you went through the back door because it's usually open, my question is, how many times did you come in through usually open? My question is, how many times did you come in through the back door to be able to say to this jury the back door was usually open?
I don't know how many times I was there. A couple of times. I don't know. I don't have an exact number. Sorry, I just don't have an exact number.
So you just took a guess that perhaps the back door would be open that day.
I was going to go to another door, but yes, I was going to try each door until I got in.
And again, now you are all the way up at the house. You're dressed like you're ready to obviously commit some kind of a crime. You have Austin with you. You have at least one knife. And you're now going to hunt around to see what door is open?
Yes.
And you said you jogged about 2 miles from where you parked.
I'm guessing. It was about 2 miles. I'm guessing. It's a
So
guess.
you're just taking a chance. Maybe it's a coincidence that a door will be left open that day.
Good possibility.
Okay. And then you entered the house through this back door. Is that right?
Yes.
How did you know when you entered the house through a back door that Fabio Sementilli wouldn't be in the room that you were entering unless someone told you in advance where he was?
No, I was very cautious when we approached.
Cautious. Right?
Right.
But you can't know what you can't see, right?
Cautious.
So again, how would you know when you entered through this back door that you weren't entering a room where Fabio Sementilli was?
Cautious. Approaching very cautiously and look to see if anybody's around. Cautious.
Fabio Sementilli was much larger than you, correct?
True.
Much taller than you.
True.
And you were concerned that you would need a second person in order to subdue him in order to commit this crime, correct? Because you just told us you're old, you're
I didn't
tired. right?
I'm trying to answer you, but go ahead. I'm listening. I'm trying to answer.
So you needed a second person to commit this crime with you.
Actually, I needed the first attempt to work. The second one was a chance.
Second one was a chance.
Yeah, because it could have went even. It could have been this horrible all around the board.
Well, you killed a man that was completely
That's what I said. It's
innocent.
horrible around the board. I said that.
Council, let me interrupt you. Let's take our afternoon recess for 15 minutes. The admonition does apply.